Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My amendment simply adds a reference in the section on illicit financing to the use of anonymous shell companies, which have become the preferred vehicle for money launderers, organized crime, and terrorist groups. So I urge that you will accept this, and I hope that my colleagues will support my amendment. I do want to thank the leadership for creating a terrorism task force on the financing of terrorism. I think it's an issue that is incredibly important to our country and one that we did not have in the past. So thank you, and I yield back.
Generally yields back. Chair recognizes himself for 5 minutes. I wish to recognize that the gentlelady from New York first reached out to the majority side over the weekend. On this amendment, both staffs worked together on a bipartisan basis. Again, I will say, perhaps ad infinitum, perhaps ad nauseum, that there are messaging amendments and there are substantive bipartisan amendments. You have the right to offer either. If you wish to offer a bipartisan substantive amendment, then I would counsel you to reach out early to the majority side. So the gentlelady from New York did. We worked with her on her amendment. I recommend that it be accepted. I think it is a non-controversial amendment. I think the gentlelady brings up a very important point. This was the subject matter of the previous task force. And I have no doubt that under the leadership of Chairman Pearce, that the Terrorism and Illicit Finance Subcommittee will continue to examine this issue in the 115th Congress. I would also point out the majority is prepared to accept several amendments offered by the minority that were filed on a timely basis, and the members chose to work with the majority in putting their amendment together in a bipartisan, non-controversial fashion for those who care to proceed in such a fashion. I'd be happy to yield to the gentleman from New Mexico if he wishes to make further comments.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for yielding, and thanks to Mrs. Maloney for bringing this amendment forward. I think that everyone in the committee knows your long-standing desire to combat the shell corporations. Actually, in my home county in New Mexico, it's a big problem. The drug cartels send money across. They create shell companies of trucking. What it does is it weakens the economic framework by which other companies could be successful. It's draining resources, draining the possibilities of work there and revenue generation. And so it's just disadvantageous to all of the country. The subcommittee does plan on examining the beneficial ownership rule requirements and just the broad gamut. And so I appreciate that the chairman is willing to accept this. I would urge the committee to accept